Welcome inside the studio, everybody. It's a Friday night here at Mohawk Park on a big weekend of harness action. Not only do we have some great racing ahead, we kicked it off our 5-day rotation last night with a very good-looking 10-race card, but taking center stage this weekend, of course, East Rutherford, New Jersey. They've got the Hamiltonian 101st edition. Huge program. I have been there, consistently over the last few years. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get there this year, but it's going to be a great program. You can always watch and wager on that as well on hpibet.com. So their card gets underway tomorrow at noon. Also a big weekend at Woodbine. The next couple of weekends as I welcome in Elisa Blow here tonight. Tomorrow you guys have the Bison City.
Yep, so second jewel of the Triple Tiara.
And then the King's Plate, obviously, a week from Saturday.
Crazy, yeah. And it's looking like it's going to be a really big field this year.
12, 13, what is it?
Could be. I mean, I think the question mark was if the filly would go, the filly that won the Oaks. Yeah. Her name is Luster, and I mean, did she ever put on a performance? And that's Hall of Famer Josie Carroll that trains that horse.
Johnny V riding that one, right?
Johnny V was there to ride, yeah. So there were some kind of rumors about maybe she would head down south instead of racing here, like look for a graded stakes win in the United States. Mm-hmm. It sounds like she's sticking around for the plate. And if she hadn't gone, everybody would have entered. But at this stage in the game, we have a really big group.
Yeah, she looks scary good against us, from what I'm hearing, right?
Hmm?
Yeah, from what I'm hearing.
She's pretty neat. And I'll tell you what, the horse that I'm going to wear my heart on my sleeve for is one that I've been watching since last year. He's been really fun to watch, and his name is Bricketto. Okay. He's a Manitoba bred, so how exciting would that be? And his breeders are his owners, and Julia Carey, who I'm sure you remember, she conditions that one, and Brian Munger has been the regular pilot. And I've been talking to Julia, for the last couple of weeks just to see how she's doing, because she skipped the plate trial and just opted to continue training instead. And she just said to me, it's one day at a time, Elisa. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you got to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's on the undercard on that day?
Oh, everything. There'll be like 4. Hey, I'll tell you what. You know what else is the exciting news? The EP Taylor is back up and running. We're going to start using it on Sunday. So that means we'll have our big races, like the EP Taylor Turf and all those big races. The International will switch back over to the EP Taylor Turf course. So that's exciting. And
I saw the quote from Mark Cassey, of course. Yeah. He raves about it, as many top trainers do. Mark says he'd put it up against any course in the world.
Everybody loves it because of the big sweeping European-style racetrack that we have. And even some of the trainers that have come up to race on the inner turf course for stakes events from the states that have won have said to me, we want to come back and get onto that turf course once it reopens.
Yeah, and it should help wagering too.
Oh, yeah. Right? People love that track.
Yeah, naturally. All right, so looking forward to that. A couple of big weekends. Glad you're here tonight. Tomorrow, Randy will be back here. I'll be doing the pregame show with him. We touched on it yesterday. We do have a post time that's going to be pushed back just a little bit. 6:50 first post. We know that it'll go obviously a little bit later than that. And then we've got 6 o'clock for the pregame show tomorrow. So, we'll sort of be coming in on the tail end of the Meadowlands big program. Not to mention you guys as well, I think, are running to about 6:32.
Yeah, we have 11
like
tomorrow, 2 stakes. Not only do we have the Bison City, but we also have the Niagara. That's a really good stakes event. Big field for that one.
Tell Bradley to get his sleep.
I always tell him that.
Yeah.
I say to him, on the verge of a big night, I say, and no hanky-panky. Everybody likes that when I say that to him.
Yeah, I bet you he gets red in the face pretty good, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope he's watching.
And then he texts me at 8 o'clock at night and says, I'm in bed. See?
I hope he's watching right now.
He will be.
Yeah, that's right. Last night, we had 10 races. They were all pacing. 8 2-year-old races on the card.
I love 2-year-old races.
And I mean, and it was some good 2-year-olds too. We've got some that are preparing for whether it be golds. We've got others that are, not Ontario side that were gearing up for the When You Wish Upon a Star and the Dreammaker eliminations. But we also had some upsets, including this one here. It was a first-time starter by All Bets Off. All Bets Off had a couple of really nice first-time starters that raced well, including this one that won. Delray Sealster at 9-1 starts to rush up here on the outside, and I'll tell you, halfway down the lane, maybe didn't look all that promising, but really got into gear
I
late.
think Tyler thought he had something, because when you watch the close-up there of Tyler, he was hauling, right?
That was for Peter Brickman.
Everything he had,
as well, able to get that one. And then this race here, Trevor Henry drives a horse by the name of Just Keep Flying that just absolutely throttles. Dougie had the favorite here that's just in behind him. He starts running in, gets a little bit fumbly gated. but a good effort. And then here's the other all bets off. Mark McDonald's at the back with this horse, and Trevor wins easily, but Mark comes flying late, 26 and change to be second in his debut with this horse. But yeah, 16-1 on Just Keep Flying last night.
I love it. I love getting to see those up close shots of the drivers with their mouths wide open, yelling at these horses coming down the lane too. Really exciting races. And tonight you're in store for a really good treat too, because we have 2 stakes races, the Pure Ivory and the Millard Farms.
Looking forward to that. Tony Beaton, not sure what he's got here tonight. Just looking at the front of the program, just one starter in race number 6. Well, last night he had a slew of them. We know that his bread and butter are these young horses. He had a lot of 2-year-olds out last night, and it resulted with 3 wins. He had Twimby Copacabana right off the bat. Then Captain Cavalier, that's Nijinsky's younger brother.
Wow.
Yeah, he won in start number 2. He was pretty good, and then Waves of Fortune looked good as well. So the McDonald brothers, they had a pair of wins each last night, and Tony Beaton having himself a great night.
Don't get a price on Tony Beaton, it looks like, either.
Not last night, you didn't. No, not on those ones. And he had another one that was heavily favored that made a break. Bulldog Express, I think, was the name. So he looked like he could maybe have 4, but
3 out of 4
he'll go with
bad.
3. Yeah, he'll take it. And Steve Condren was out there in a couple of those winner circles last night too. So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's
always nice to see him. And then earlier this morning, we talked about preparations. Some opt to not, come and race in some of these overnights because they're getting ready for whether it's stakes or, OSS programs, whatever it may be. Well, in the qualifying session this morning, we're just going to focus in on one of them because out of this group, the top 3 finishers are all very good, including the top 2. We've got the Colt Atlas Ross, undefeated. He's a gold winner. He's likely preparing for the next gold, which I think is here August 16th. The one that is second, the filly, she's undefeated. Back-to-back golds for Twimby Myro. And then T.H. Benedict, also very good in 2 starts. He's third, rushing up on the outside here for James. He is eligible to the Dream Maker if they decide to go that route, or he could be just preparing for the next gold, but some really nice ones coming out of that one.
That's fun. I'm not sure if you've had a chance, and you probably don't, because listen, we're so focused in on, you're focused in on standardbreds. I'm focused in on thoroughbreds right now. One thing, you got to turn your.
Let me turn my.
It's probably Jeff.
It's not actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One thing that we've added to our program that we've been asking for years is workouts.
Yes.
And isn't it a treat to get to see these horses work, especially when we're talking about babies, right? So for standardbred racing, you guys are just so blessed that you have these qualifiers that you're able to watch and see just what you're about to wager on when it's their very first lifetime start. For us in thoroughbreds, we've just kind of been looking at workouts. And if we didn't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch them, then we didn't get a chance to see anything. So we've been able to show a lot of workouts, especially works from the gate. I like getting to see those as well. And they have paid off, too, with some really nice prices on horses we've been able to show.
It's such important information.
Really?
What you can see in there. On the harness side of things, we've talked about this for years. And as Elisa was mentioning, they're so readily available. On our YouTube channel, we've obviously got the best in the business for broadcast crew on both sides, so they're going to give you great shots of all of these horses as well. I agree and glad to hear that you guys are showing more.
Yeah, well, there's a website in Kentucky, and you can just pull up any horse you want that's working in Kentucky and get a chance to see the works. They're all recorded, so that's really interesting.
Yeah. California does it too.
Yeah, like we've been able to utilize those when horses are coming up for stakes events.
Yep.
But it's just so great, especially when you find out who they're working with, right? Like in your case, you might see a gold horse racing against a claimer type of a thing in a qualifier. But in our case, you're seeing a 2-year-old go either with another 2-year-old or with an older horse that's helping them kind of put the fine touches on. And then you find out the older horse is a stakes horse, and boom, there you go.
All right, so some great stuff there. As you were alluding to tonight, the feature events, races 5 and 7, we've got the Pure Ivory for the 2-year-old trotting fillies, and then the Millard Farms. Now, these races in the past, Elisa, have always been legs and then a final. Now they've gone to a limbs and a final, and they carry graded status. They're grade 3s.
Yeah, that's cool.
The finals are
Money's
going
big.
for
150 G's or so.
Something like that. Yeah, so it's great money. You've got some great fields, and we look forward to talking about those. But we're going to dive in here with some 2-year-olds right off the bat, filly trotters. in the Friday night opener. We get to see what's going on as far as wagering. Not surprised to see a Luke Blade trained, Determination owned horse that's getting early money, because that's generally what happens. But Data Privacy, I mean, here's a Muscle Hill at Donna Soprano, who I believe did win the Pure Ivory in her rookie campaign. But Data Privacy, an improving second. I would have to think she's one that you're including.
She is. Not only is she one that I'm including, but she's one that I sent a replay in for as well, because I wanted everybody to get a chance to see what I saw too. This is the replay from her most recent start on July the 30th. So she's racing here, and it is once again Bob McClure who's doing the driving. So we'll roll the replay machine. You're going to get a chance to see what I saw from this gal, which was a really nice late kick from her. So we'll watch this. Go ahead. There she is. You can see her right there with McClure. All right. So I just want you to keep this in mind when you're doing your wagering, but I got a funny feeling that a lot of people are going to be taking a look at anything that Determination sends out, because, you know, they put a lot of money into this game, and they bring up some fantastic horses. They breed fantastic horses as well. This is a homebred, like you said, by Muscle Hill. Now, who could be a threat to this horse here tonight? Well, maybe a horse like the 3, the McNair horse. I understand he got himself into a little bit of trouble in that gold that he was competing in back at the end of July. So, you know, and he was a big price that day too, but still was only ended up being beaten by about 4 lengths. Maybe the 5, Flawless Lady. This is one that we're going to see Paul McDonnell do the driving on. Also exits a gold. So, you know, you have the 3 and the 5 that are exiting golds, whereas Data Privacy is not. So, you know, I just think, you know, with Determination, as we know, and they don't always go hard on them first start out. You know, they take their time.
Yep.
Because they don't want to have a horse that you burn out right now as a 2-year-old. They want longevity.
Well, and he points her to certain events, and I would think for Data Privacy, the first big one, likely the Peaceful Way. That'll be just around the corner.
Yeah.
You know, so for Data Privacy, it's will be, you know, they want to take another step forward. But in that instance, it could be the win tonight here.
Right, exactly. So, you know, with babies and these trainers, they're trainers, but they're coaches too, right? So they have to plot out where the next step is, and then back that up by a certain amount of dates, so you get a race into them, and then you're ready, primed and ready to go.
Yeah, and in good hands too. You get Bob McClure, you know, so much experience developing young horses, and in the past too for Luke Blay and company, and he's getting a lot of their assignments as well. So Data Privacy, the way Elisa goes in the Friday night opener. We're going to skip over 2 now. 2 is a nice event. It was supposed to be a clean deal, and Dea is sort of, you know, battling again ahead of the next gold tilt. She scratched, a clean deal did at scratch time, so Dea's left in there with 4 others. That's why there's no show wagering. We go to race number 3. It's the early pick 4 getting underway with the non-winners of 2 group of trotters. Morning line favorite in here is Lo and Behold, who, you know, likely preparing for her next assignment in the OSS, but she wants to get a good frame of mind again because she made a break last time. So you want to get that out of your psyche, right?
Exactly. She won the gold, and then she came back with the next start, and everybody's thinking, oh, she's just going to put 2 in a row together. But unfortunately, she goes off stride. And listen, that's going to happen with these young trotters. So we just need her to have a nice, clean line here tonight, and she'll probably be the horse to beat, a daughter of Green Manalishi. I did look at this one horse, Go Roscoe, for Roger Mayotte. Comes in off of a pretty easy victory in 54-2. And the other one that I tossed in is Up to Laura Hanover, because, you know, again, she's had a break. She hadn't raced since October the 17th when competing in the Breeders' Crown event. Then she qualifies back on July the 24th. She has her first race back, and I don't think they were going to push her too hard. And now maybe tonight's go time.
That was a great debut for her. You know, there obviously was a reason why she missed all of the time. But she's obviously come back fantastic out of that first crop of Captain Corey. They were sensational. They've come back fantastic. And you know, I would think that tonight, Up to Laura Hanover, there's a good chance she might end up being the favorite here.
She could, and you're right. That last race could have set her up for a big one here tonight. So, you know, is she in my ticket? Yes, but I did use this Lo and Behold, just hoping she minds her manners this evening. All
right, that's a look at race 3 trotters with the early pick 4. Pick 6 is what we kick off in race number 4. And I thought with some of those long shots that we got later in the card, maybe it was going to trigger a carryover. It didn't. Last night it was a good little return. We some of those long shots mixed in actually helped us out last night on some of those payoffs. We've got non-winners of 15,000 lifetime, so a classification that we end up having in between that non-winners of 1 and the non-winners of 2 for a group of 10. And, you know, based on the morning line odds, Tainted Love's not even 5-2 or 2-1, 3-1. So I think they're saying, you know what, this is an evenly matched group, maybe a wide open where you can make a case for a few of them. Where did you go?
I did go to the 9, Adina Hanover,
Okay. Yep.
just simply because, we're changing things up here this evening. We're getting Mark McDonald, Sean Stacey, of course, the conditioner of this one, coming in off of a second. I'm kind of thinking that last race, that race on July the 31st, is a good one. That's the first big race we've seen from her in a while, right? Where she wanted to be a part of the fight in the end. So maybe they figured something out with her. I don't know if they changed equipment with her last start out, but for whatever reason, she showed up the last time that she was competing, which was back on the 31st of July. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe they've solved a little bit of a riddle with her, and she'll come up with a bigger effort here tonight. 9-2 is the morning line price on her. So I used her in the top spot. Ghislaine did too, so I feel a little bit better about that. But certainly Tainted Love is a horse that I think we have to watch out for as well.
Interesting here to see Garnet going Colquitt Sparrow, but then Kevin Plouch having this horse into the top 2, and she's 15-1 morning line. Now, I don't know if this is just an instance where maybe the morning line odds are askew. Maybe they figure that she's going to be, bet certainly more than that. I know it looks like it is a jump up for her,
right.
But she's a 4-year-old that's going to get to face off against these 3-year-olds here tonight.
And maybe it's the human connections that people are taking a look at as well, right? You get James, you get Gallucci, Millar Farms, come on.
Yeah,
right?
And favoritism there, yeah. But, we'll see race number 4, how competitive that ends up being. But let's dive into some feature events because we've got some replays to show. I know you wanted to highlight the eliminations that we had last week. So the Pure Ivory, grade 3 status now, an elimination and a final format, 2-year-old trotting fillies, and $168,000. I mean, it's early in your 2-year-old career. That's going to be a nice payday, for anybody that ends up coming through here. And we've got a lot of talent. In this group, the morning line favorite installed is going to be Buttes Cabaret. She's undefeated through 2 starts, comes from a fantastic, developer of young trotters in Steve Bossens. The other elimination winner was Rebel Moon as well. So we're going to go back and show both of these. We'll start with Buttes Cabaret. She was early on. And it was just sort of textbook, right? She was able to, capitalize from a nice 2-hole trip.
Listen, I like what happened with her, in the race, but I really want to highlight another horse that was in that race, too.
Okay.
So the horse that I want you to watch when we roll this replay is the Jameson horse, and that being Treasure King, who ends up finishing 3rd in this race. So let's watch this because, the winner's the winner. That's great. But I just want you to watch Jameson with the horse that he had here. So he's got the 5 you can see here on the inside. Just watch late what we're able to get from her here on this day. So she's 3rd. Now, she had won a gold right before that. Obviously, they have a pretty nice horse on their hands. And I just think that tonight's go time with her. So, nice easy drive here. We're going to get her over to the rail. And then all of a sudden, everybody kind of starts coming. And she is involved in a pretty good photo here. She ends up just finishing in the 3rd place spot. But I have this feeling that we saved something in the tank for tonight.
Right?
Exactly. So I want to use this. And listen, we're going to show you the other replay too, which is the other Jameson horse, that being Rebel Moon. I just think that the Jamesons are loaded in here. Obviously, anytime, we have a family horse and a family member doing the driving, you got to follow where the family goes. And so Jody's going to stick to Treasure King, whereas James is going to pick up, he did drive her last time, but James is going to drive this Rebel Moon. I say you got to look at the 4-horse really, really closely in this race.
Well, and you talk about Team Jameson, they've got a nice 1-2 punch in here, but I think their best one's not even in here.
Okay.
Because she was in the second elimination. It was similar to what Jody did, elected to not move,
right?
And save the ground, and then hopefully something worked out. I mean, it nearly worked out for Treasure King. Unfortunately, it did not work out for Major Contender, and you're going to see, this is that typical replay that we would love to show back from a troubled trip. It finished 6th, then top 5 ended up getting in. So Rebel Moon ended up getting the victory in here and picked up the pieces on the wide side. But look at Jody in behind. Just was trying to find a way through, and it never did work out.
Yep. No. Well, that's horse racing.
Yep, exactly.
And, when you got the favorite, there is a target on your back, obviously, too. But what's really cool about this, for regardless of who wins this race, now that we've started to rate standardbred stakes races, and this is a grade 3. I know, at least from thoroughbred land and from breeding racehorses, you get a graded stakes win beside your name, and the price shoots way up for either down the line as a broodmare prospect, or of course what you're going to do next year as a 3-year-old.
Yep. No, exactly. It's nice that they've added this graded status.
Have you been following these, Chad, at all? I mean, we've been putting these stats up in Toronto, and now this is. Sorry, this is
This is just their mile time.
Sorry,
last
this
time
isn't
out.
what I was thinking.
But there's a variety of different things that a producer will put together.
Yeah, we have one up there that we do. It's like well, Chris Platts actually puts it together, and it's a whole bunch of different numbers. So your Equibase number, your buyer number, a whole bunch of different numbers, and what that shoots out with, the highest number, the better. And it's actually been scary accurate.
See, that's what I love about the thoroughbreds, though. They've always had. There's so many different stats that are kept.
Yes.
We lack that on the harness side, unfortunately.
I love a buyer. Yeah.
And
a buyer will sell a horse too. And by that I mean a buyer, BY, buyer speed figure.
Yep.
Because, I've seen this in the past where a 2-year-old, will win a stakes race, and they're waiting to see what the buyer is before they make an offer. And if the buyer comes back and you're assuming it's going to be maybe 75 or so, and it comes back as a 56, your price just shot down.
Yeah.
So, those kind of speed figures are what a lot of people use to do their handicapping with when you're talking about the runners.
But yeah, we've had some good stats, thing that the producer and everybody kind of keep tinkering with, and we'll see what pops up here. But on the picks board, I can't remember. Where did you go? You went Treasure King?
I went to Jameson. Yeah, Treasure King.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So I went 4, 6, 5.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really good fillies in here, and obviously they're all very light on experience, and some of this could be the start where they all of a sudden just start to it comes together for
take off the light bulb moment.
Yeah, and many of them are going to continue to take steps forward.
Yeah,
who might take a bigger leap. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You just don't know with babies sometimes.
No.
Who's got a headache and who's feeling great.
Exactly. So that's the first graded stake final that we've got. Race number 5. We're going to go on to race number 6 next. Back half of the card kicks off the late pick 5 nominators of 3 in here. We've got a field of 10. We do have some 3-year-olds up against some olders. We do have some that are likely preparing for the grassroots next time. Jen Tilley, for instance, is one that ended up going grassroots last time. She was always a gold filly. That most recent race, I actually watched it from Jersey. Frank Baldacchino, I was at his place on the ocean, and we were watching this race together.
Were you eating lobster?
No. You know what? I had a nice pasta at a fantastic restaurant called Black Eyed Susan's. Actually, beforehand. But no, we were watching this race, and as she did, as she's done before and in the past, she gets there, looks like she's going to go by, and then she sort of hangs.
Oh, she's a hanger, huh?
Yeah, so I don't know what that is. She's got great size. She's such a beautiful looking filly. You just wonder when that attitude's going to
kick in for her. Well, or you got to start training her with another horse and letting her go past, go past. It's a mind game.
Maybe put her on point too. I don't know.
You could change that up as well, but I mean, one thing I've learned over the years too with 2-year-olds is if you keep training them and working them, and I'm talking about runners, but it all materializes in the same way over here. If you keep working them in company and you keep letting them get beat, they figure, oh, that's what's supposed to happen, right? So at some point in time, you got to let them get their nose in front. I did go to a 3-year-old in this spot. I went to the one coming up from Kentucky, and that's Make 'em Blush, Hanover. Again, Blade, Determination. You get Tyler Jones, who's enjoying a really good campaign, too. This horse coming in off of a win down in the States. And I just wonder, I guess your thoughts on some of this, because we have 2 horses coming in from racing down in Kentucky. So the 8 and the 10. The 10 is new into the Jody Cullen horse, into the Jody Cullen barn. Does that give them an advantage racing down in Kentucky and coming up here? I mean, I think down when you're talking about the runners, absolutely, because the competition is much tougher. But here, like what we're able to give you is some of the best horses in North America. So
yeah, I mean, Kentucky's got such a fantastic program.
They got a great program.
It always has on the thoroughbred side, but even better and better now on the harness
side. It's
great
in harness,
especially with the money, and it's just attracting so many great horses. So I feel like both of those fillies have been facing off against good company.
Yeah, exactly.
Down there. So, does that necessarily give them an advantage? I'm not sure, because I also feel like we've got a pretty strong program.
That's what I'm saying. It's equal,
here.
Mm-hmm.
And they both draw outside. For Team Cullen, Doc's Girl Friday, they've trained others for Dr. Andrew Roberts, who has sent some, up here. Not that it's been Jody Cullen always. There's been others as well. I think Nick Galucci might have even trained one. For Dr. Andrew Roberts, but it's a homebred. There's a few in here, but again, we need to keep in mind, what are some of them maybe prepping for?
What's the goal?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a Jen Tilley, I would say ahead of her next provincial program, you'd love a win.
Yeah, I think so.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but we don't.
But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, let's get past somebody.
Yeah,
that would be cool. If she was able to score here tonight, then we're looking pretty, right? But I just worry a little bit about this determination horse.
Yeah. Well, Make 'em Blush Hanover, she'll be confident too, coming back and getting a win at Grand River.
That win was so easy
as well.
last start.
All right, let's go over to race number 7, the Grade 3 Millard Farms final for the 2-year-old trotting colts and geldings. And again, what we're seeing in race 5 and race 7, not only are these ones that we could be seeing in the upcoming Peaceful Way and the William Wellwood, but even further beyond that, the Mohawk Million.
Right.
Perhaps the wheeling and dealing will start for that very soon. We've got a group of 10. We are going to look back once again at the elimination winners, and you might be seeing the race winner coming out of this first one in Detonator Hanover. Doc Moore and his son Tyler, they've got a real nice one here. He's a muscle mass, and I know he was didn't win in his first couple of starts. He faced off against Unstable Genius, who has looked fantastic. He was eligible to this event, but Dave Maneri and Tom Pollock decided not to go in here. But Detonator Hanover, whether this was his coming out party last week, I don't know, but he's just got a nice way of going.
Yeah, and he did it so impressively too. And
he had a good one come at him.
Yeah, and then here's the time, like it's so much faster than the other elim, right? So he went in 53-4, and then the fellows horse went in 55-3. I mean, that's leaps and bounds, right? And look at how easily he did it too. And I mean, does Tyler even move a muscle? He just keeps.
How leggy he is.
Yeah, he's. I keep saying this, and I've said it the last time I was here too. Any horses from Moore's Barn and barns that go down south for the winter with their babies have a huge advantage, right? Because they're able to train in the sunshine, and how much time did our Canadian horses lose training in the winter because of the cold weather that we had? But this was easy. Like, I mean, he never even moved. So I think you're about to see a superstar in the making here tonight with Detonator Hanover.
Yeah, I mean, Access Now is well bred.
Yep.
He could pick up his game, but I mean, he came at him and then he just sort of came away from him.
Yeah.
Dance card for Ben Bergeron. I mean, I know this is one that he's high on. He's had 2 starts so far. They've both been solid. He's showing improvement. I mean, he dropped his time to 54 and change. This is another one that I think will kind of continue to get better as well. So, some really good ones coming out of that first elimination. The second elimination, as we go there, we're going to see that in this one, it was 3-6-0. And I wonder if that name, I mean, is that just a play on like doing a 360? I don't know.
6-0. It's got to be 360. I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's the only thing I could think of, but
you're so smart, Chad.
Yeah, well,
you would have taken me all night to figure that one out.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, and I could be completely way off basics. Could mean something totally different, but 3-6-0 is going to end up getting the win here with Jody on the outside.
I wonder if that was the hip number. 3-6-0.
Yeah. I could look at that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It could very well be that. And that's going to lead me into something else, because you were talking about guys with advantages.
Yeah.
Going to Florida over the winter, and you see the same obviously on the thoroughbred side. But I remember Tony Alanya years ago saying, the Lexington sale comes up first. It's about a month before the Harrisburg one.
Right.
And he said that to him, that's an advantage. You've got an extra month.
Yes.
To start working with these horses,
that's
getting
true.
them broke and getting them trained, and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So this one, by the way, is from Lexington, but I am gonna, now that you said that, I'm gonna look back at that sales.
And if he was hip number,
I'll let you know.
60.
I'll let you know.
I do want to know.
I'm gonna dig on that and check that out. But here we go, looking at the mile times again from them last time. I mean, I would say the race goes through that morning line.
I agree. And I mean, is it as simple as maybe keying this horse tonight if you're, playing multi-leg wagers? Possibly. He could be a key.
You know what? I am able to see the hip number, I think.
Look at you.
Right here on Track It.
Okay.
So let me see. No, it was hip 701.
Oh. Well, maybe that name was taken.
Yeah, it was a really late one. But yeah, hip 701. All right, so there goes that theory. Okay. If anybody does know for sure,
let us know.
Just let us know. Yeah, be
I
curious.
always like to know the story behind some horses' names because there's like a lot of thought that goes into it with some people.
Rick Zeron with his,
he's got great
in
names.
Hawaii, Mahalo. No, I like that as well. And the Italian job, of course.
That's a great name.
Rick's
too.
got some nice ones, and he was talking about these ones when he.
Oh yeah, that was
right?
so great to have Rick on the show. I really enjoyed every minute of it, and it's funny. I was thinking about calling him and bugging him to come out here tonight too, but then I thought he's probably at the cottage. He could be.
It could be, or I know he loves going to the Hamble. Unfortunately, he's not going to root on his son anymore. And you know what? Our thoughts and prayers and wishing a speedy recovery to both Scott Zeron and Jason Bartlett. A nasty spill last night at Yonkers Raceway, and Scott unfortunately is going to have to miss
2
some
weeks
big
or
drives,
so?
including I think he had the morning line favorite in the Oaks.
A great place to heal is up in a nice cottage with your mom and dad.
Listen,
it's horse racing. Accidents happen
He's
all
been
the
involved
time.
before, and
and it could have been much worse. So I'd be happy if I just had to sit out for a couple of weeks as opposed to a couple of months. Especially this time of year.
Yeah, so heal up fast, both of them, because
they're young and they're healthy.
Big league drivers that we want to see out there. Okay, we're going to go to race number 8. We're going to stick with some 2-year-olds. We've got Colton Gelding trotters, and we've got a nice little mix here, including Luke Blais unveiling yet again another well-bred one. Here's a Muscle Hill out of Emoticon, Hanover. There we've got a grade in being told the 4. Okay, Commander
What's
Kelly
happened?
is a late scratch.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so 4 and 8 are now out of this, down to a field of 7 in here. Data Breach is the morning line favorite over one that's coming out of Gold Company to try and get something going on the outside. I had to Google this one, Tough Gong, when this horse debuted. So that's I guess Bob Marley record label. They called him Tough Gong.
Okay.
That's what I get.
That's cool.
I
think that's neat.
Because at first glance, you want to say it's just somebody spelling tough going different. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And maybe it is. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know. But using Google, this is what I'm getting, and it seems believable.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a flyer on a price horse in this race because I figured I can't come in and just pick chalk all night. Yeah. So why not take a horse at 10-1? So I'm taking this horse along the inside, and that's Wolf of Wall Street for Blake McIntosh. I know he's had problems staying flat. I get it. But he was a good boy in his qualifier. And maybe, same as I was saying earlier on, maybe they figured something out with this guy. And if we can get a good trip out of him here tonight, get Tyler Borth, who was in the bike for that qualifier, he knows this horse well. If we can get him to be good tonight, we could get a really good price on him.
And if he isn't, and I'm sure it's already happened, but Wolf of Wall Street, not sure if you know this, but I'm pretty sure they got into the Guinness Book of World Records for most F-bombs in a movie.
Oh, really?
And I'm not even trying to be funny. I remember hearing that. But Blake might be catching up. if this horse continues to not behave.
It's either that or he's going to start, his hair's turning gray because of this horse, or he'll start pulling his hair out. But I just would hope, that's my guess, is that maybe they went back, they changed something with this horse, whatever it was. They were able to get what I think we all know he's capable of in that qualifier. And now tonight, it's just a matter of keeping it all together, okay? So it's one foot in front of the other, as some people would say. But yeah, I'm going to take this horse at a flyer here tonight, 10-1.
And that's what these races are good for.
Yeah, exactly.
Brian, you don't want to work on things in stakes.
No.
Right?
Yeah, no.
You want to try and get things going now, and if you're going to tinker,
and maybe
whatever.
You worked on something in that qualifier,
exactly.
And now you got something figured out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to talk one more here. Race number 9 to kick off the late double. Nominators of 2 for the fillies and mares on the pace. Morning line choices is Monte Amore, Sean Stacy. I know you're going with one of his earlier on. He had a really nice 2-year-old debut last night. I know she was, I can't remember if it was a she or he, but anyway, finished 5th. Hurricane Hanover, flying late from the 10-hole. Looking forward to that one. Randy was talking that one up pretty good. But Monte Amore in here, the morning line favorite. You've got No Better Air. Hasn't necessarily turned it around just yet with the recent addition of Lasix. You've got Artistic Delight's been knocking. Doc Moore, Mark McDonald have suddenly been a good, combination together as well. So there's a few different ways you can go here.
Yeah, I actually opted to go to the 7. So the Chantal Mitchell horse.
Yeah.
Comes out of a fast race last start out. So I went 7-4. 4. I'm going to try and beat the 4 with the 7. So Phil, if you could just make that happen, that would be great for me tonight.
No problem, Phil.
Yeah, and then I tossed in Jay because, Jay's getting close, right, with a couple of third-place efforts and hails from a strong outfit. You get Mark McDonald, and I mean, the horse has been a price horse and has been helping people out for the tries at over 30 and 40 to 1. So I tossed that one in as well,
popular.
but really popular.
Yeah, for one that's been knocking. Maybe tonight is the night that she can put together her second career win. Race number 10, we're not going to cover right now. Lisa has got you covered tonight for that, but just to let you know, the high five has grown again to the six-figure territory. It gets up there quick.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I walked in tonight into the paddock, and you know how they have the sign up that says what time the show starts and the carryovers, and I looked twice, over $100,000. Wow.
Yeah, up to 100 again already. So good luck if you're going to play along with that. All the best for the wagers. I'm going to jet upstairs. Have fun down here.
Thanks.
Enjoy it. And Lisa's going to take it away with her tickets here tonight.
Tickets and plays. That's what we're going to pass along your way for you now as Chad heads on upstairs. Okay, so here's my early pick 5, and I'm just taking a flyer on some of these horses. So I went 3 deep in the first race with the 3, the 5, and the 9. We talked about the 9 horse, and maybe I should have keyed the 9, but it's young horses, and you never really know what's going to happen, especially when it's young trotters. I did key Dea in the second race. I went 1, 3, 5. I hope my father's watching. In race number 3, those are his lucky numbers. Fourth race, I went 2, 3, 4, and 9. The 9 being Adina Hanover. That's the Stacy horse that I was talking about. And Treasure King is going to be my key in race number 5. So that combines for a ticket for $36. But obviously, if you want to play it for 20 cents, you'll get it in at a lot cheaper. We do have plays of the night to pass along your way as well. We'll start first with what I've sent in. Now, keep in mind, I've been working at Woodbine for the last while, and I'm in King's Plate mode right now, so I did send you chalk horses, but I did send you one at a price. And so Data Privacy, Treasure King, Make 'em Blush Hanover, but this horse, Wolf of Wall Street, is at a very big price tonight, and if that one comes in, I've got a text to make after, because this was a subtle suggestion for me today. So Wolf of Wall Street at 10 to 1 is going to be my price play on the evening. Do we have selections from our friends? Okay, yeah, we do. So Ghislaine's got a 3 to 1 horse here in the opener on the program. He suggests using this horse as a key as opposed to the 9 horse. 15 to 1, there's a price horse for Garnet Barnsdale in the 4th race, this Cold Creek Sparrow from Dan Walker. And Artistic Delight 9 to 2, the price on that horse in race number 7 on the card. That's the Chantal Mitchell trainee that we talked about on the show, and he suggests using that as a spot play for him this evening. So that gets us through the 10 races that we have in store for you this evening. 2 big stakes events tonight as well. The Pure Ivory goes as race number 5. The Millard Farms goes as race number 7. We've got plenty of great racing in store for you. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the horses for the opener.